I think I've been scammed on Facebook Marketplace. I ordered 4 different packages and all I've gotten was this. So let's go back a few days and see what happened. I was just scrolling on Facebook Marketplace and I stumbled upon this Nintendo 3DS XL LL Black Console plus games for $120 and thought, hey, this might actually be worth it. The console was boxed, which makes this pretty much value there, and then a few games here and there. Nothing that was crazy, but this is probably worth at least $200, maybe $250. So I went ahead and looked it up on Price Charting. Price Charting has it for $210 just by itself, and then the games would be kind of on top of that. So I went ahead and ordered it, but I'm going to keep scrolling because I want to see if we can find a few more things. I just found the second listing. This is a Nintendo 3DS Super Mario Edition from Black Friday a few years ago for $130. This is definitely well worth it if it is complete like they say it is. I think this could definitely be a good pickup here. I looked it up on Price Charting and it says it's going to be $350, so that might be a little good, but we'll see if we can do anything else because I feel like that's a great deal. I think I found 2 more listings that are definitely well worth it. Starting off, we've got the Nintendo 3DS XL that is just the blue console. This is the original, not the new one. So it doesn't have the C-Stick, but it does come with a few games and a case. But for $50, it's super cheap with free shipping. So we'll have to see how that ends up. As well as I found a Super Nintendo for $160 with 4 games. This listing actually looks really promising. You've got the Super Nintendo Junior model as well as 4 amazing games. You've got Ultimate Mortal Kombat, you've got Super Mario Kart, Castlevania 4, as well as Zelda Link to the Past. So let's give it a few days and see what comes in. I'm really stoked to see how this all ends up. A little bit of an update. 2 packages were supposed to arrive today, and one was hand delivered, but no one was at my house. And then the other one was delivered to the front porch of a house, and it was a huge box for a 3DS. Didn't make sense. And let's go outside and check the brick on my house. As you can see, this is red brick. As you can see in this picture, that it's actually like a white and red brick, which obviously means it's not my house. Also, sorry for the bad lighting. It's getting dark outside, but I don't know what's happening here, and I hope I can get these packages. Well, it looks like we at least are gonna have 1 package to open from Facebook Marketplace, but the other listing that was supposed to be delivered today was 23 pounds and obviously was received by Leah, but I don't know who that is. So I've got a few things to talk about with Facebook Marketplace, but while I do that, let's go ahead and open this up. So we've got this package, which I think is the Super Nintendo, but I'm not 100% sure. I really hope that it is what I ordered because I don't know what is up with Facebook Marketplace, but I tried to get a return and it was like, oh, this is from Amazon? You can't do that. So I don't know what that's all about, but let's go ahead and see. Ooh, everything is sealed with bubble wrap. This actually might have ended up being a good deal here. Oh my goodness, I'm so shocked. After everything that's been going on, this was an amazing package. I can already tell this is the Super Nintendo. Right off the bat, we've got 2 controllers that are kind of falling out. This is a Nintendo branded one, which is totally awesome, as well as another, wait. These are 2 completely different branded Super Nintendo controllers. That's really cool. Got an AV cord, which is a third party, but I'm not going to complain there. And then the power cord, which is a Nintendo one. That is awesome. And then that leads us to the games themselves, which again, whoever sold me this did a great job of packaging them up. I am super stoked. You never know what you're going to get on Facebook Marketplace, so this is a great deal. Starting off, we've got Zelda: A Link to the Past. This is in pretty decent condition, but there is like a sticker residue over the label, unfortunately, but everything else on this cartridge looks good. And then we've got Castlevania, Super Castlevania 4, which is in really good condition. We might need to open these up and make sure everything is good. And then I've got to get these other ones. These are really, really well packed. We've got Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Again, really good condition here. And following that up, we have got Super Mario Kart, which these are some really nice looking carts, which kind of gives me a little warning, but there's things here that are telling me this one's real. Let's see about this one. This one's giving me interesting vibes. It's probably good, but I don't see someone faking this game too much. But Super Castlevania 4 is giving me a little, and then this one looks fine. So I'm sure these are all good. But then last but not least, we've got the Super Nintendo itself, which if we open this bad boy up, we'll pull it out of here. Man, they really did a good job of bubble wrapping this. I am shocked that this turned out to be so good. And yeah, we've got a really nice, really clean Super Nintendo bundle, so I'm pretty glad about that. But it's been about a week now, and I can say, honestly, I am no closer to getting my refunds than I was a few days ago, which is kind of a big bummer. I have reported this to Facebook Marketplace, and I had to wait 2 full days before I could even report it. And then it's been 2 or 3 days since then, so I'm hoping in the next few days I can figure out what I can do to get my money back. But it's obvious that these games are scams. While I was actually searching, I found the exact same pictures on a listing by someone else, which is super concerning. But overall, I did end up with that Super Nintendo, and that deal was well worth it. We'll talk about the pricing in just a minute. I meant to video that a few days ago, but I'm behind here just because of the whole fiasco itself. But this is forewarning. If you're going to buy on Facebook Marketplace and it looks too good to be true, it might. So just be prepared. You might have to go through some troubles to end up actually getting your money back. So if you're going to spend money, just beware there. Now, Facebook does have a buyer's protection, so I'm hoping that I get my money back that way, or I could always just try to get my money back through my bank, but we'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and sit down behind my computer and talk about how much these Super Nintendo things were actually worth, and well, if that was a good deal at least, I hope so. Okay, so I've got my computer set up here. Let's go ahead and look up the Super Nintendo Junior system right there and see how much this is going for. Now, for the whole bundle, I spent $160, so I really hope this is worth it. Starting off, $95. I'm also going to run a calculator here. We're going to have $95 on the board, and then we'll keep adding to it. Overall, not a bad deal. That's a huge chunk of the cost here was the console itself, and it came with 2 controllers, so I'm glad there. Then moving on, we've got A Link to the Past for the Super Nintendo, obviously, so let's see how much that's going for. A Link to the Past. Okay, so let's go ahead and select set for the Super Nintendo, and there we've got $35 for this. Now, that's not too bad. That gets us a lot closer. Here, I think $35 is a good price for that. Moving on, we've got Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, which is a really good fighting game if you are a fan of Mortal Kombat. So, it is what it is. Some people don't like it. I think some people do. I'll go ahead and change this again to the Super Nintendo. And it looks like the Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 is worth $26. At first, I saw the cheaper one, and I was like, oh no. But this is worth $26, which is, again, a nice chunk there. I think that gets us right around like $140. So hopefully we can make up some money. We've got Super Mario Kart next here. This one should be like $35 if I remember correctly. 30, 35 probably. Let's go ahead again, switch it to Super Nintendo. And then there we go. Oh, it's actually not as expensive as I thought at $24 for this loose cartridge. So we'll go ahead and add $24 there. And I think that's probably about $160. But then we've got Super Castlevania 4 here, which I think is probably going to tip the scales and make this well worth it. Now, I've got problems with the other listings, but for this one, $45 is how much this is going for, which is totally awesome. And I think this might be a better copy than the cartridge I have, so I'm glad to do that. So let's go ahead and add 45 for a total of $225, which is a really good deal considering I only spent $160. But after all is said and done, I did have issues with Facebook Marketplace. Thankfully, it's been a few more days and I did get all my money back, thank goodness. But we definitely have to be weary of Facebook Marketplace scams. However, I think Facebook Marketplace is still worth it because the Super Nintendo bundle was well worth it. Paying $160 for this and getting $225 in return in value is definitely well worth it. But you kind of gotta be willing to risk it. I knew that maybe I'd have some problems here, but I didn't think I would have this many problems. Not getting 3 out of the 4 is just a big bummer, but I'm glad I at least got something out of it and my money back. So if you want to see me do something like this again, comment down below. But I'm going to get out of here and test these things out because everything looks good, but I want to make sure and play through it. So if you haven't already, go ahead and check that video out there. But what do you think? Is this worth the risk of Facebook Marketplace being scammed and potentially losing my money and having to deal with everything and jump through the hoops in order to get it back? Or do you think you would just rather pass on it and maybe hit up pawn shops, thrift stores, or garage sales, or something else that's going to be better than this? I'm not quite sure, but I think I'm probably willing to at least risk it as long as I can potentially get my money back. But I want to know what you think. Comment down below and let me know. I'm getting out of here, so make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And check out that video out if you haven't already.